Okay, we should be good. We should be here. Hello! Hello, my gamers. It is I, your host for the evening. I'm Mac. We were doing so good with doing intros when we were doing Zero Escape, and I feel like we should go back to doing that now that I am maybe getting better at hosting a stream. That's me. I'm Mac. You should be able to hear me. Good. Niels can see the game and hear me, so at least we have that going for me. I'm joined by my friends, PB, Jacqueline, and Jane.
Howdy! It's PB. And also I want to point out we can actually see the chat on stream.
Yay!
Well, that is working now.
Yay! I had to make sure that I had all my ducks in a row for when I'm the one that's hosting puzzle streams. Last time on, Of the Devil, because I know that it's been a minute, we found our friendly neighborhood android, and Neil said I can hear all of the peanut gallery parentheses affectionate as well.
Yay!
We found our friendly neighborhood android in our dead friend David's basement closet. She is remarkably advanced compared to the other ads that we've met in this universe. And also we are now David's defense attorney because it turns out the suicide is illegal. I'm emphasizing that extra syllable. In this universe, and just because of that gives us the opportunity to investigate his death, which I'm sure is going to go great for all people involved. I have a text message, and I'm checking it because, so, fun fact about me, in our dead DA, parentheses, David Asher, so, before we started stream tonight, I specifically set myself a deadline of 5 p.m. to get up, stop playing Umineko, go downstairs, and make dinner for myself. And I got downstairs and I started to boil water for pasta and determined that my stove was just simply too gross.
Oh no.
And started instead cleaning my stove. Which 45 minutes later, I went, I have to go stream, and I never made my pasta. So Rachel is very kindly making my pasta for me.
Very kind.
Specifically was like, you do not have to do this. And they were like, but I could. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
So at some point there will be and there's actually a clear, or a mostly clear path, from my door to my desk for once. I'm gonna grab this really quick. Give me 1 second and then we can keep going. Professional streamer getting up from the stream in the middle of it to move shit around in their room.
That's the moonshot guarantee.
That's the moonshot guarantee. Wink. Does anybody want to rotate any characters around? Does anybody want to play Morgan today, just for funsies?
I can take over Morgan for a while.
I can keep her, but I'm also like, I think it could be fun to switch some stuff up.
Really, the only character that I have dibs on is I want to be the judge when we get to the judge, because she looks incredible.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
But I can take over Morgan for a little while if you want to break, Mac. I'm also happy to leave it to you. I'm happy to just sit here and be peanut gallery. And voice, was it Ray?
I was, personally.
Did I have London or Reyes? Which of the cops did I have?
Last time you were temporarily both of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we had London and also a character I was playing in the same scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Starling also.
Yeah.
But I think London is more
Starling.
of a default Jane character. And Reyes is more of a default PB character. Well, we can figure it out.
I can keep Morgan also. Like, I'm happy to voice Morgan, but I'm like, I don't want to hoard her.
Oh, I'm happy here.
It's fine to hoard her.
It's nice to not be voicing a main character or hosting the stream. It means I just get to chill. It's great.
In the PB gallery.
Yeah, the PB gallery.
Ignore the Steam notification of like, oh, Bellatrix opens up.
Listen, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
I can't.
That's very unprofessional, isn't it, Jacqueline?
Listen, I can record on Wise Girls however I want.
I respect all of you. Oh, this is also a very important detail from last time that I didn't mention, is that we did find out that Morgan is her last name and that her first name is Evangeline.
Oh my god,
Insane.
yeah.
Which I love for her.
Transgender bitch.
I love her so much. Alright, well, I guess we're starting off with some patented Evangeline Morgan silence. Oh, and Reyes as well.
I'm not saying shit.
No one in this conversation wants to say anything to each other. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? Oh, great. We stopped right before a title card. Perfect.
You could have taken the next one.
It's a busy building, detective. Can't hold up everyone else on our account. Anything you'd like to grumble at me before I start?
Don't touch anything. I don't care that you're wearing gloves.
I have been to crime scenes before, you know. Long before the police get there, in many cases. God, I love her so much.
Reyes, you're like, man, if I could just fucking read her thoughts. Look, Rockford asked me to not get in your way, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna bend over for you.
Girl?
How do you say it like that?
Do you at least have the autopsy report? This game is full of gay women. And I love that.
Yeah.
It's true.
No.
Are you seriously...
I don't.
Actually,
Some fucker with swoopy hair said they had to go update it, okay?
Seraph said, huh, Reyes, pretty brat behavior. I will say, PB, I might ask you to pick up Morgan while I eat, but that will not be for a minute, so.
Okay.
Is Reyes this game's gumshoe?
Maybe so. Or is London this game's gumshoe?
I think that it's the two of them are kind of a dynamic duo that fills the gumshoe role.
Yeah,
Together they
right.
this unpaid dipshit.
She doesn't? The report should have come in hours ago.
Conspiracy?
Alright, jot that down. Wouldn't take this long unless the cause of death was still... Then I'd settle for a summary of the preliminary findings. And you can't have that either.
An emergency call was made shortly after 8 p.m. last night via the home security system.
Jane asked if Reyes was this game's gumshoe, and I heard Sarah from the other room verbally say yes out loud. And the same to London being this game's gumshoe. Shout out, honestly.
Emergency medical services had a VTOL in the area in the air with approximately a minute. They landed on the penthouse's helipad at 8:08. Dr. Asher was found unconscious with low blood pressure and a weak heartbeat. He was not breathing. In-flight auto triage administered artificial CPR while in transit to Gatesfield Memorial.
I wonder how well that works.
Yeah.
He was declared dead a few minutes after being taken to the emergency wing.
Not so well.
I see. And the cause of death is?
He ran out of blood, what can I say?
Make an educated guess.
He stopped breathing so they gave him oxygen. Stopped pumping so they had machines take over. See, it was right. Brain activity dropped to 0. There wasn't anything else they could do.
It was poison, wasn't it? What kind? You don't know, do you? Reyes is like, how the fuck did you figure that out? They don't know either.
Like I said, ma'am, we don't have the autopsy report yet.
Why are you certain it was poison, Adonai? Couldn't it have been an accidental overdose?
If he had overdosed on a commercial drug, even a pre-med student would have spotted it on the hospital's intake screening. They would have been able to pump his stomach, neutralize his bloodstream, and he would have lived.
But he didn't live.
So it must have been something deadly. A compound designed solely to kill. A fast-acting, deadly poison that causes respiratory failure. The list can't be that long. Even just through process of elimination, the medical examiner should have identified it by now, unless you suspect a designer drug, don't you, detective?
Why is it you're only quick on the uptake when it suits you? Nothing else makes sense, given what we know and what we don't. You're right, congratulations.
But the CDCA decriminalized and cataloged all recreational drugs.
Yes, you aren't entirely clueless about politics.
So whatever Father overdosed on should have been in the hospital's database.
You need to update your definitions. You're confusing designer drugs with recreational drugs.
Can't wait to go look at the entry for designer drugs.
Uh-huh. What is the difference?
Recreational drugs are decriminalized and sold through pharmacies after years of testing and mountains of paperwork. While the average designer drug was invented last week in a 19-year-old line cook's bathroom on the other side of the globe. Hospitals can't know the proper countermeasures for an overdose of a drug that didn't exist 48 hours ago. I came across makeshift labs all the time when I was in uniform. A uniform. The equipment's cheap and widely available. Black market cooks, gray market peddlers, white-collar lobbyists, all chasing each other's tails in a long line to find the, quote, next big hit. CDCA didn't chase shit. More people die from ODs than ever before.
I love playing this game again and going, oh yeah, right, this game does not pull punches.
Uh-huh.
Only difference is it's their families finding them in the living rooms and not beat cops finding them on street corners.
Uh-huh.
Real comforting, I'm sure.
If it wasn't you talking, I'd say that was a criticism of law enforcement.
Not law enforcement, just the law.
Assuming it was a designer drug, that would certainly make things more complicated.
For the insurance guys, maybe. For us, whatever he used to do it, he still killed himself. Or didn't kill himself, if you insist.
I'm going to take a look around now.
Yeah, make yourself at home.
What's that face for?
I thought that there would be an outline.
An outline? Oh, girl.
Around where they found Father.
Like in the movies?
Like in film.
Connect to the police's network and bring up their ARCS file.
Augmented reality crime scene. I see.
I love that it's the Unity symbol for this, too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very funny.
Like, yeah.
Of course, the cops would use Unity for this shit.
Yeah.
There is an outline. And so this is where he...
He died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him.
And it's the sensors and cameras they were wearing that created the basis for the SARCs?
Mm-hmm. They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered data all the same.
Where do we start?
You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. I'm starting to get a feel for when she's pouting even without looking. Alright, let's look immediately at the phone here. A chessboard. And a datapad with a series of characters on it. E4, C5, NF3, E6, D4, CX-D4, NX-D4. This is...
It's a game.
It's a
That's
game,
chess.
yeah.
That's chess notation.
Well, yeah, it's chess notation, but... Algebraic notation. Was he studying an old game or playing against himself?
Black has checkmate in 40 moves.
Wow, a robot that's good at chess. We ought to put you in a museum.
She's such a bitch.
She really is.
She really is. But I'll take your word for it.
What do you mean? Do you not play Adonai?
No. Especially not against David.
Well, that is to be expected. Anyone who challenged Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing.
Correct, Seraph. Morgan is perfect. Every game starts the same. Each player has the same pieces, the same moves, the same options. Wow, I love Umineko! It's a true test of wit, strategy, and forethought. To me, it always seemed too
Boring.
fair. The smarter player wins every time.
And that...
Morgan thinks that chess could do with tech trees, kind of fog of war, that kind of thing.
We have
Oh
to
my
introduce
God.
Morgan to chess 2.
We gotta get her on Polytopia. No, Chess 2 for sure.
Which I think Chess 2 Physical Edition is out now? Am I right?
That's true, I think.
I think Chess 2 Physical Physical Edition is now live. If you go to acsherman.itch.io, you can buy the schematics to 3D print your own Chess 2 pieces. This is a little bit of cross-network promotion.
I have a 3D printer knocking around.
If I had access to it, I mean, I technically, makerspace-wise, I do have access to a 3D printer, but I don't feel like, I can't do it right now, so I'm later. At some point.
Jane, you have to print out Chess 2.
I don't even know what chess 2 is, but okay, sure, why not?
It's Chess 2. There's nothing else to say. And that is something you take fault with?
Of course. How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? Alright, let's see. We have... Let's go over here. I always admired this view. The buildings agleam with reflections of holograms and sunlight, and their shadows obscure all the run-down, rotting parts of town. Maybe the view's secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants is to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. I love that that was a fact. Yes!
Is it possible that a witness could have seen something through these windows?
Not through these windows, no. David installed wide-spectrum auto tint in all his homes, all his cars.
I didn't know that.
Well, you wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse from more than,
Why did he care so much about his windows?
I mean, I kind of would also want some privacy. Police androids monitoring the scene. would almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an... Oh, did I just skip past what Sarah said? Hold on.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Did she not say anything?
She dotted. She dotted.
Oh, okay. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park.
Pardon?
Why are you looking at it like you've never seen an android before? Why would he care so much about his windows, asks the state-of-the-art android he totally didn't have permission to build, LOL.
Because I haven't in person.
David didn't even let you have a mirror? Brutal. Just scan its skin if you're that curious. Unless that's considered too forward or whatever. Okay, so I've looked at that. Let's look at the table. Better take a closer look. Two cups. One empty, knocked over, and one mostly empty. These look cheap. Did his guest bring them?
I've seen them before in the basement liquor cabinet.
He kept these lying around? They're red Solo cups. Why wouldn't he? I knew he rekindled
'Cause he's
those
richer
crystal
than God.
glasses. I got him. Okay, yeah, there it is. There's her actual motivation.
Ark says there's nothing foreign in the upright one, so it can't have been poisoned. Results are inconclusive on the other cup, though.
Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time this was considered a crime scene. Just not enough there for them to test.
Inconclusive could mean...
Inconclusive means inconclusive. That's all. Clearly he was just into beer pong. Yeah, PB. Okay. Cheer up and read me the results of the fingerprinting.
Father's prints are on both cups as expected. But there are someone else's on the upright cup. So someone else must have been with him last night.
Slow down. All that proves is that someone else touched the cup. Doesn't tell us when they did it. And since we don't know who the prints belong to...
Adonai, why don't we know who the prints belong to?
Are the prints flagged as unidentified, or...
No, there's space for a name, but the field is blank.
Shit, am I already that late to the action? Detective Reyes.
You want me to... Oh, PB's off mic at the minute. Should I pick up Reyes?
Yeah, you
Sure,
pick
go
up
ahead.
Reyes.
Yeah?
There's a second set of prints on the cups. Is there a form you'd like me to sign?
It doesn't matter how nicely you ask. Sometimes people just can't answer. You should know that damn well, Madam Counselor.
I was afraid you'd say that.
I don't understand, Adonai. What does this mean?
It means that whomever those prints belong to has very proactive representation. No, PB, you're all good. Don't worry about it.
Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony. But their identity is... The department is being very considerate of the witness's privacy out of respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation.
Fine, forget the name.
That easily?
Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. What did the witness have to say for themselves, Detective?
To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night, the two of them talked, and they had a drink together. Then the doctor got sick, so they activated the emergency system from the panel in the kitchen. The EMTs came and took them both to the hospital.
Wow. There's a whole second person in there and we had no fucking clue.
Ash's condition got worse, although the witness's vitals were normal.
Yippee! Food delivery for Mac. Yay! Thank you.
Let's go.
The witness had their vitals taken? Then there should be a record of their admission at Gatesfield.
And that's it.
Alright, I will be eating while I play Morgan because PB is, off mic.
Okie doke. One of us could also take Morgan if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okie doke.
I'm guessing you didn't just take all of that on Babe.
Numbers set up in most of the rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system.
LOL, Seraph just said, understandable, Riley has prepared chat for these moments. I mean, I'm constantly eating on stream. Like, all the time. I promise I tried to not do it this time, though. Unfortunately, the ADHD got me.
So, yes, we can guarantee that the witness never put anything into Ash's drink.
I'm guessing that I can't have the keys to the penumbra, can I?
Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it.
Lawyers, plural? I don't have time to trade jobs with the law offices of Johnson, Johnson, Johnson & Johnson.
Say, how about I give you their business card?
Oh, Reyes is fucking chomping at the bit to give her their business card. Alright. The law offices of Cockler, Gustav, Prince, and Prince. I was close. No way I'll be getting any client information out of them directly.
If all you bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch.
Girl, you get off on voyeurism?
Yeah.
I'm, you know what? I'm holding that line. I'm leaving that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bet you like to watch.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Needed a moment to think. So that was it. One chat, one peek at the cams, and you've already eliminated them as a suspect?
Look. They were searched, they didn't have any poison, any drugs, not even a stick of gum.
I can't wait to find out who this witness is.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if they somehow did have poison on them, the camera footage confirms they had no opportunity to use it. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man. As far as the department's concerned, they were nearly the second victim.
But they aren't dead, or even ill from the sound of things. So you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand, then poured for the both of them from a safe bottle?
That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. But after drinking from his cup, a cup he prepared himself, he fell ill and the witness didn't. And Asher died of a foreign substance in his body.
An unidentified foreign substance.
Suicide by poison. I get that you were close and simple explanations aren't all that satisfying. But that's life.
next thing. You just said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera?
He left the parlor to get the drinks and came back with his already poured.
That's pretty damning.
The witness says he got them from the basement.
Hmm.
The witness says that. Not the cameras?
There's no cams in the lab or the basement.
There was a third person in the apartment, says PB.
Oh shit. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully?
It's intentional. If cams of his labs ever got hacked, outsiders could steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly to the curb.
Right. David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage.
At least we can take comfort in knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died.
Yeah, that's worth investigating. Spilled alcohol. The arc shows how it looked last night before it evaporated. A fourth person has hit the crime scene. No foreign substances in the puddle. It's clean. So does that mean wherever the spill came from must be clean as well? I love a mystery story, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old.
You recognize it?
Sure. He was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand. Only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world.
It... Oh my gosh.
Are you good, Sarah?
It appears... Oh, I have Android COVID. It appears the police have already tested its contents.
You have a virus.
No, we don't call them viruses. We call them Android COVID. No foreign matter present was their conclusion. Is it possible that the police missed the poison?
No. Even if they can't identify the poison, they can detect its presence by comparing samples of the whiskey to a bottle of off the store shelf.
So we can eliminate the possibility that the bottle of whiskey was poisoned.
We'll have to find our smoking gun elsewhere. Okay. It did show up. Password locked. But already cracked by the police, it seems.
All the docs were take-home safe, nothing spicy.
When was it last used?
7:48 p.m.
Still reading work emails only a few minutes before he committed suicide? Morbid.
I mean, that might be what drove him to it.
Sarah, looking at Morgan in her outfit, I think I have Android COVID. There's a lot of... Say your thing.
Honestly, the email idea that's not a bad theory. Sometimes you get a message and then things go wrong.
You ever see a take so bad you're forced to immediately go to sleep?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of messages marked priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. Alright, let's see.
Blood, save soldier's life.
Stunning and heroic episode of one of our nation's brave soldiers had their life saved by a noble android, blah blah blah. An animate 16 enforcer, one of the few warm androids being currently tested out by the armed forces. It opened up its own arteries and pumped life-saving universal donor synthetic plasma into the young man's veins. I've no doubt he'd be dead if there was any other android fighting alongside him. Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag and then some. It's certainly an interesting idea. When asked about committing to a military contract for Noble to provide the armed forces with war models.
Like mobile blood bags.
Oh my god. This art, I am sure. Let's say yes. We played episode 0 2 months ago. Oh damn, you're not logged into this device. Why don't you pop your user ID details down below and enable Crumb so you can get the user experience you deserve, girl.
Crumb.
Exit.
Goodbye. Oh hey, this is that article that I've seen going around. But why would Noble have it marked as priority? Starling said they weren't in any rush to pat each other on the back over it. Even though they'd won themselves
Oh, that
a
android was turning
prize.
sentient.
Easy PR,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
My-
That seems like it.
My impression is easy
Or-
PR.
My impression is military contract, and that's the explanation for why they're not making a big deal out of it.
Oh.
Like, maybe there's some stuff they have to keep secret. I'm not really sure what we're being prompted to say is a thing.
I see both sides.
Okay, hold on. I'm going back. Let me see the log again. Backlog. Even though they won themselves a real prize, a military contract. Yeah, it's the military contract.
Yeah, okay.
They now have the excuse they need to pressure the military into a contract for war androids. I am a firm believer that you should never second guess your gut instinct, but in that case, I was wrong.
That's why we have
Well,
3 or
I feel firmly that I should never second guess my gut instinct because I was right.
This is why we have like 2 to 4 gut instincts at any given time on the stream.
So true. Can't dismiss the expensive upgrade as unnecessary now that it saved a soldier's life. This time next year, there'll be pink oxidizing fluid being spilt all over the globe. Okay, so
Right.
we have finished one chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting. And one chair pulled out. Party of 2. He never cared much for socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. Contradictory guy. Alright. Says here that when the medics arrived, he was on the floor face up.
Does that tell you something?
This is the Spider-Man meme. That's what's
The
happening.
fucking mimicking is so funny.
This is
It's
what's
really
happening
good.
right now. Hey, if you were going to drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? She has imprinted on Morgan, you're so right.
I find it very difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario.
There's an obvious answer here, Morgan, that you're not thinking of, which is that David Asher decided it was floor time.
They were that far down the bottle of whiskey. Sometimes you just slump on the floor.
Sometimes you just lay down on the floor.
Yeah.
The seat by his body is pulled out. If he was seated when he lost consciousness, I would expect to find him slumped over on the table.
But he wasn't found slumped over.
No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I would think he would have fallen forward. Or at least collapsed less neatly.
So what can you conclude from that, Adonai?
Only that I'm missing something. Seems like that's everything critical on this side of the room. Which leaves the kitchen. You said there's camera footage of the dining room showing David and his guest. What about in here?
Only camera in the kitchen is the one mounted on the call terminal. The console took a snap image when the witness ran in to contact emergency services.
May I see it?
No, unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first.
Don't tempt me. Three unwashed dishes and a single glass. Reyes, these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet.
And...
And I just assumed you might want to do your job.
I am returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
PB.
Yeah, there are prints. Most match the victim. But there's also... Huh.
Hmm?
Hey! Don't sneak up on me like that!
All I did was walk over to you.
You knocked over the salt, Adonai.
I was focused on the task at hand.
Didn't realize tunnel vision was a selling point on your mod.
Adonai, the salt.
There's an upside to the tunnel vision. It means I can tune out your bullshit. Anyway, as I was saying, witnesses' prints are on that glass.
That glass in the sink? They were drinking from cups in the parlor. Did you see a glass on camera?
No.
So when did they touch this glass?
You need to toss it over your shoulder.
Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they tried. What, you think this glass was the murder weapon?
It's bad luck, Adonai.
Whacked him on the back of the head so fast it went between video frames?
Just fucking slingshotted this glass. That's genius. You should go through the footage frame by frame to prove your theory.
Bleh.
Mature.
It's bad luck.
What have you been going on about? The salt? Shouldn't a machine be above petty superstition?
It's not a superstition. It's an ancient wisdom.
Give me one logical reason to care, then.
If too much salt spills onto your food, it'll make you gag.
Huh. Fascinating. Maybe it's on me for setting the bar too low there. Yep, I just saw a salt shaker go into the evidence.
This is gonna be some interesting shit later, for sure.
I literally, she said that, and I was like, huh.
If there was too much salt, you would gag. That's right.
Yeah.
Spitting
Fascinating.
fact for real.
Messy workspaces, but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guest, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for all 3 meals. Or 2. Or 1. No signs of food prep to be found. Not so much as a cheese board. So whoever this guest was, they must have shown up unannounced. I'm gonna check that last, I think. Also, I'm gonna just real quick. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I can just hit tab. David's fridge. Normally I wouldn't go poking in the pantry at a crime scene, but this was a poisoning. Some white wines chilling in the drawer. Some real cheap liquor stuffed in the icebox. Old habits. Reyes, you said he left the parlor and came back with that whiskey from the basement? Let's all file that away for a pivotal moment later every detective game played. It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Huh? Yeah, that's what the cams show.
There's plenty to drink right here. And unlike the cabinet downstairs, it's actually cold. He must have wanted Rose River in particular. What's that look for? You hungry?
I am an android. I do not get hungry. Are you being sarcastic?
Only mostly. I thought you said you required organic nourishment.
I do ingest organic substances, but that doesn't mean that I experience hunger as you do.
So when you don't ingest organic substances for a long time, you...
I become tired.
Oh my god, does Sarah get hangry? What a great feature.
Sounds more like she gets heapy. And when I'm done digesting, I
don't need to know that one. Alright, now let's look at the phone. This is where the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out?
8:04 p.m. Before you ask, the witness left the parlor at 8:03 p.m. Not enough time for them to alter the scene.
I wasn't going to ask that. When did the medics arrive?
8:08 p.m., remember?
Hell of a response time for a penthouse. I took my glasses off, so it is going to be a minute, because I cannot see. This, without my glasses, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Morgan, but I actually cannot see her eyes.
could be like a ditto, like pretending to be Morgan.
PB, can you hit the band, please? Private EMS came by air. Thank you. Accidentally tapped out of the whole gate.
Yeah, they landed on the VTL pad you saw outside. Took him to Gatesfield. The very best, if you can afford it. Looking around here, seems like he could afford a lot.
He got his insurance through his employer, just like most people. Caduceus's Executive Plan 4 isn't like... Oh, no, that's Reyes. Never mind. Sorry.
Caduceus's Executive Plan 4 isn't like most people, Counselor.
He had executive level? Not like most people at all.
You've now had the chance to survey the crime scene.
Yeah.
So do you think you know what happened?
Detective, is his body still at the hospital morgue?
Yeah, he's at Gatesfield, like I've said like 10 times today. Along with 100 noble megs who have all called dibs.
Then I'll just have to cut in line. Sarah, get me a ride to Gatesfield Memorial. What? You can do that, can't you?
I can.
But
I need your payment information to get started.
Yeah, okay. Understood. On my way down.
got it.
Think complete.
Set pickup for 10 minutes should be plenty.
The crowd down there seems to have gotten quite large. 10 minutes to reach the pickup spot may be an ambitious target, Adonai.
How bad can it be? Oh, girl.
Speaking of 10 minutes, What do we think about taking a quick break?
Yeah, can hop
I
off
can
for a
take a break.
minute.
Give me a second. I'll set us to BRB.
Sure.
Audio's gonna go away for the record. For stream. So we'll be back. That should put all of our stuff back. And we're gonna have an ad break also in like 3 minutes because there's only so much that we can do about this stuff apparently.
We time things poorly. What can I say?
It is the way that it is. So no big deal. We'll get into the scene a little bit, and then we will just hit an ad, and I don't know, keep talking about the Umineko fighting game, maybe. As I approach the lobby's exit, the building's soundproofing begins to fail. The crowd has gotten bigger, but there is something else happening out there. The energy's not panicked yet, but it's creeping up on the tipping point. This is so bright. Are this many people pissed at Noble for selling androids? Hell's got them all so excited?
Adonai, what does that symbol mean?
In this rabble? Probably something vulgar. Which one?
The heart with a bullet hole.
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's probably nothing.
What the fuck? Based on net associations, it appears to be a symbol for the Heartbreak Killer.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would that freak have a symbol? Or a following? Or these... whatever these people are? Why the hell would they be outside David Asher's apartment?
Nobles trying to cover up the truth.
The truth. All 3 people say it at once.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't realize you were also going to say the same thing. My bad.
No, you're so good.
It's fine.
That was in character, to be clear.
Yeah.
That was in character from all of us, I think.
Yeah.
They are? Those Megs in there scrambling to... No, you go, don't worry.
Fuck, we coordinated this in advance.
Okay, I got this. Those Megs in there scrambling to shred every document they can.
We stick together, form a perimeter, and try... None of you are going? Okay, just me. And try to catch them when we go to dump the scraps.
Sarah?
What are you hoping to find?
Proof that Asher was killed for trying to blow the whistle.
You're doing real good.
Blow the whistle
Yeah, this is my first time.
on Heartbreak?
Noble doesn't want the world to know that the A-16 is sentient and homicidal.
You think that Heartbreak is an android?
You think whoever did all that was human? Noble's advanced prototype went amok and started killing.
Started killing random people?
Don't be a lamb. It only looks random. There's a clear pattern as long as you're smart enough to see past the bullshit.
Clearly the robot hated District Attorney Emma Rockford.
Oh, okay. And this is the point where the ad is about to start.
Morgan spends the next 60 seconds buffering.
Morgan has spent this entire conversation buffering.
Uh-huh.
She's having a weird one.
Girl, it's okay. It's fine. This mob is so in sync and on the same page. It's like they all got a script. Yeah.
Paid protesters.
You guys are getting paid?
Can you
Can you like hook me up?
can you imagine like how it must feel like for Morgan in this moment? Like she's like
Crazy.
What?
She
And
ends the last
fans?
game being like, all right, now the Heartbreak Killer will fade into obscurity.
The The urge to say "I told you so" is fighting so hard with the urge to be like, "I don't want to go to prison."
God, it's just... Mwah.
Incredibly funny.
Like, girl, you brought this on yourself. Like, I do not know what to tell you.
Yeah.
15 seconds left. Let me go look at designer drug. In the literal sense, designer merely denotes any drug that is custom made as opposed to mass produced, typically outside of normal pharmaceutical industry standards. Sure. DD's deeds are deads. Phenomenal. The white wave. Okay. Morgan, I literally did this because I was bored. What the fuck? Legalized and tax virtually all known narcotics. Did so alongside extensive documentation study. Blah, blah, blah. Any drug patented after the white wave must go through approval processes and registration. A time-consuming process, etc., etc. Timeline creates a window of opportunity where organized criminal groups can step in to meet the demand. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Is Nerve legal yet? Best New Dents 2086. Nirvana designed by who?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Very shrimptristing. I can't wait to find out what Nirvana is.
And how does one see past the bullshit?
That's
Stop
like
engaging.
lonely teenagers in Seattle, like circa 1990. Smart kid, she gets it. She's asking the right questions.
Hey man, your mask is really cool. Just wanted to let you know that.
My mom made it for me.
Hey guys, let me
Awesome.
talk. What the hell are you talking about? No, wait, let me try it again. What the hell are you talking about?
I like the first read better.
Okay.
No way those pictures weren't related. It's gotta be deniable odds.
That sounds awesome.
They must have all been DO'd together before getting their records bleached. Then as soon as they've outlived their usefulness.
What are you, nuts? Everyone knows the first 6 HK got to were the 6 prototypes that came before him. War Mandroid so perfect no one could tell the diff. A bullet to the heart's the only way to kill those other over-engineered freaks.
Oh, him? So you're just assuming that this killer's a man? Man, you gotta deal with your internalized misandry, buddy. Even if it is an android.
Everyone's got a goddamn opinion.
Fuck you, maleoid.
Hard to be a man these days. I see.
Stop seeing, start moving. These people are insane.
Why don't you eat some more corn slop, asshole? You think you can be the cyberpunk without ever thinking for yourself? You think it's a coincidence Victor number 6 was working on hardcore crops? They're putting something in the food. Those people. Heartbreak. This is...
A goddamn embarrassment. The hell am I paying taxes for if the state can't shut this shit down?
I love how...
He pays their taxes.
I love how, like, I don't know, status quo, semi-right-wing Morgan is. It's very interesting.
It's very funny.
It's really funny.
What about you, Adonai? What do you think about this Heartbreak figure?
They're just a murderer. Should be caught and sentenced like any other murderer.
But they must have some reason for doing such terrible things. Aren't you curious?
Why? Are some reasons for committing murder better than others?
They might have experienced trauma or abuse. They might have...
Millions of people experience trauma and abuse every day. Millions. And yet, there's only one heartbreak.
So you think they were just born that way?
That's my guess.
That's...
Unsatisfying?
sad.
I don't see why it would be.
If heartbreak was born like that, then they never had a chance to be anything else.
Sarah, aren't you curious? Morgan, literally no, shut up, let's go. If
Get in the car.
If heartbreak was born like that, then none of us normal people have to ever worry about turning out like them.
She's so normal.
Predestination. It means they never have to take responsibility for what they are.
The state can make them take responsibility as soon as they catch them.
You make it sound so trivial. They're a very dangerous serial killer.
Just a serial killer.
Just?
If HK shot someone every day, it would take them 1,132 years and about 11 months.
In order to have killed
413,789 people.
You did that in your head.
I'm good at mental math.
You counted the leap years. But what is the significance of that number?
Deaths within 18 months of the Blake Ford industrial disaster. No, I want to see that one right now, actually.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, great.
Thanks!
Oh, foreigners are trying to,
fight alongside variable user country.
You know...
User adversary racist.
You know, I'm gonna call it like I see it. There's something very Higurashi about this one.
Yeah, there certainly is.
Times that number by 2 for the injuries, tack on another 183% for the birth defects. 413,000 dead, and there wasn't anything evil about it. Just human error, some shoddy welding, and time.
So you think that heartbreak is nothing by comparison? Perhaps that is the problem then. If they're nothing, if they represent nothing, then they can stand for whatever the crowd wants them to.
Oh my god, fucking go off, Sarah!
Please make way.
You go.
Let's do it at the same time and make it a cool Android effect.
Alright.
1, 3,
Officials
2.
are
Officials are coming through. Please.
Fuck. We fucked it.
We fucked it. Go ahead.
Keep walking, pigs!
Fascists!
Noble owes the cops. Only the cops they build in their factories.
Let's go.
Very funny. Why are we tolerating this shit?
You want me to wade into the crowd with a nightstick? Prove them wrong?
I didn't sign up to be a cop to not go beat up protesters. You know what I mean. We're the only people in this city trying to do some goddamn good, and they all just...
Reyes, quit your job.
Reyes, have you considered vigilante justice?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
taking up a cape or something?
That's just part of our job, detective.
No offense, ma'am, but wearing a police badge earns you a little more hate than... Do they give prosecutors badges?
I have an ID for the parking garage. Does that count?
Like, I know defense attorneys have them, but...
Depends. You ever hesitate to wear it in the open?
This moral relativism of yours seems like a strange philosophy for someone in your profession, Adonai. Oh, this
I'm
is such a
pretty-
cute Sarah.
Such a good... So good.
This is a great
This is such
Sarah
an evil Morgan.
and a phenomenal Morgan.
Yeah.
And I am screenshotting the fuck out of this, and if I don't use this for the next promo image, you have permission to come to my house and shake me. breaking out the thesaurus on me. I'm only being realistic and humble. I'm just one woman, Sarah. Whatever I do, right or wrong, it's less than 1% rounding error in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, you'd fucking think that, wouldn't you?
Do you tell that to your clients?
No, but they come to appreciate it when I win.
I don't mean cops in particular. The same deal applies to anyone who works for the state. The terms are stark, but the ink dried a long time ago, and we all agreed to them.
I don't recall voting for it.
I don't recall voting for you.
Was that a...
That was a Monty Python reference, I'm so sorry.
I see, okay.
Well, I didn't
not-
vote for you.
Well, not voting is how these things come to pass, so... We traded freedom for safety, individual rights for collective power. The state won, the citizens lost. The very least we can do is take the criticisms head on.
Hey, look, I don't have a problem with the responsibilities of authority.
Thank you, Seraph and Niels.
Only with authority being challenged.
But when they treat us like we're the bad guys.
You are the bad guys. Again, Reyes, quit your job.
Well, sometimes we are. Sometimes the law is wrong. So if any given individual is too small to ever affect change...
So if the public's gonna hate us no matter what we do.
Hey, this whips.
It's really... And if corporations and governments will trample over people the same regardless of their character...
If we can't even be sure we're doing the right thing.
What do you do, Adonai?
What the hell do we do? Why did I get this cool cyber eye?
I think it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple.
It's not as complicated as you think.
Oh, the way that Emma is looking forward and Morgan is looking backwards.
Yeah.
It's really good.
In times like these,
In a world like this,
the only logical way to live is...
the only moral way to act is... do whatever
Yeah.
it takes to win.
This scene whips! This is so good!
Oh, yeah! Let's fucking go!
Maybe ignore the thing that I said before. If I'm insignificant in the grand scheme of things, I can do my worst and no one will notice.
If power is inherently evil, holding back won't save your soul.
Just fight with both barrels.
And trust the opposition to do the same.
This is why they're in love.
This
Winner
Yuri,
takes all.
my digestive tract is being melted by just like proximity to this toxic Yuri. I'm very
Oh, for
happy.
sure.
So good! Fuck me.
Ah.
My mom, I called my mom to ask about the stove thing, and she texted me, how did it go? And I replied to her while we were doing that scene to say, like, it's like 80% clean, but there's some, like, really caked in shit that I can't get rid of right now. She's still typing. It's been almost 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Your Honor, they're in love. Your Honor, they are narrative foils. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ugh, thank you. You're a lifesaver. And the next time that Bridezilla texts you, just turn your phone off. Chatty guy. Must have been due to go on break. When he tried and failed to find the witness's medical record, his datapad had the name blacked out. Yeah. No, we're handshake emoji right now, Niels. We are, I promise. But I did see that they have Caduceus Executive 3. More expensive than David's, which means they most likely...
How did you do that?
You need to hold the button to get the doors to close faster. Mashing does nothing.
That is not what I meant. There were many others who arrived before us. How did you get us down here so quickly?
Well, I didn't do anything. It was that nurse who escorted us.
Yes, but you managed to get a stranger like him to help you with so few words, so little information. I don't think you even gave him your name.
Haven't you heard of the Golden Rule?
Of course I have. Treat others how you would want to be treated.
Wrong. Treat others how they would want to be treated. He wanted someone that he could vent to. He wanted someone to pay attention to him, and he wanted to feel appreciated. Which meant he'd be eager to help given the chance.
Even just reading someone's mood is quite difficult. How can you know how another person wants to be treated?
There are no mind readers. No one can ever know anything about what anyone's thinking. Maybe not even themselves. Doesn't matter if they're your parent, your twin, your lover, it'll always be a gamble. Actually, narrative for... Fuck, Seraph. Okay. Actually, narrative foils have more rights than being married. Your foil is allowed to come to your hospital room unannounced and end the narrative right there.
Oh. That is... not a very comforting sentiment.
No, it wouldn't be. Well, I think it's fun.
Only because you're good at it. How did you get good at it?
How could anyone ever say no to that face?
Same as anything. Observation and practice.
You must have been observing and practicing for a very long time, then. Oof.
Ugh.
So we proceed down the hall, bear left, look for the fourth door.
I'm gonna open the one that says morgue on it.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
Should I pick up this character?
If you want to.
Go for it,
Sure.
absolutely.
Oh, hey. Come on in. Don't stand out there in the cold wouldn't be accurate. Sorry about the chill in here, but I run a little hot. And you can see my roommates never complain. Yumi Sato, medical examiner.
All right, show me the profile immediately.
Misato, medical examiner, likes accessories, reality TV, and palm reading. Dislikes social media, dress codes, and ebooks.
Loves to make new playlists. Hates to throw out old clothes. Most proud of my weekly meal prep.
Wow.
This is the most 36-year-old woman who has ever lived.
It's really true.
Me looking at O negative blood type also. Good to know. Yeah, she fucking would have AB negative 1.
Are we doing blood type personalities now?
No.
Okay,
I'm being
okay.
a little shit. Why
I
is
see,
my
I see.
Spotify playing? Hold on. I have to figure out why my Spotify started playing. Dr. Sato! Just the lady I wanted to see. Though I didn't expect that I'd get to. The fact that they've assigned a medical examiner and not some ad or junior means...
Oh, you can just call me Yumi. And you'll...
Morgan, I represent the deceased.
The deceased. Oh, the deceased. Asha D. Wait, really? That's, weird. I thought this time slot was scheduled for a group of noble PR people who...
I know, weird, right?
Well, what the hell do I know? I was getting tired of hosting Megs anyway. I gotta finish typing up this report before we talk shop. But in the meantime, feel free to make yourself at home.
Character design in this game is crazy good.
So good.
What's this? The hospital is getting renamed? No, guess it's some other hospital that got snapped up. Hospital renamed to thank Ikaria family. In recognition of the family's incredibly generous donations over the last several years, after they paid for the renovations to the orchestra hall and the retrofitting of what used to be known as the Scout Arena. Okay. It wasn't so long ago that the Ikaria were better known for drawing blood than donating it. Fearsome reputation for cutthroat business practices that had their business rivals going so far as to accuse them of involvement with organized crime. The founding of Renogen Medical over 25 years ago and its subsequent sale, Ikaria have moved out of the business world and into the upper echelons of society, sometimes mockingly referred to as the neobility. Okay, new money, new money, new money. Born from the unique and chaotic economics of the mid-21st century and the Red Decade. LOL? Checks the calendar. Uh-oh! When asked her opinion on those who label her family house Ikaria, Mireille had this to say. This country, anyone can make a name for themselves so long as they're willing to put in the work. Mock new money all you want, but the truth is that success is all about reinventing yourselves. The only ones that are comfortable with that are... shut up about my payment. Ikaria, as they weren't always in the same line of work. Now they're plastering their name wherever to get themselves,
New image.
New image.
New image, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just, it's the orchestra hall and the arena as well, so it's gotta be a new image. All the neobility are eager to prop up their image wherever they can. That must go double for the Ikarias. Assuming the truth about their criminal past is anywhere close to the rumors. That's a lot of screens. There's gotta be diminishing returns on productivity.
Why do you have so many monitors, ma'am?
Can't just ask someone that.
Good question. Every quarter when they do inventory and budgeting, they ask me if I need anything. And I never do, so I submit a blank form. But I guess a while back there was a +1 in a spreadsheet somewhere and no one's ever corrected it, and so... boom, I get 4 new monitors every year.
That's incredible.
I am sure, given the fact that we just got chips for that something is going to come up related to that, but that's so funny!
Do you run out of things to use them for?
Yeah, sometimes. But this year I started running 2 dramas at once when I'm doing rote work, which helps.
Watching 2 television shows at the same time helps you do rote work?
Helps me use up the screens.
I see.
It does sound like a sweet deal, fuck.
Are these all dead bodies?
One would hope so.
I only meant that I'm surprised to see them stored here. It suggests a backlog, which suggests a higher murder rate than the public data would lead one to expect.
Do you only examine bodies for the police, Doctor?
Oh, I wish. Most of my job involves confirming COD on natural deaths for insurance adjustments. Insurers want to blame the mod for failing, mod makers want to blame the stiff for not exercising enough. Family says the company insurers plan would pay for mods but not a gym membership. Yeah, that whole wall there is suspected defective liver mods, suspected leaking internal biobatteries, suspected CCIC.
CCIC?
Climate change induced complications.
Phenomenal. You can prove that climate change contributed to an otherwise natural death.
Very, very rarely.
If it can be proved, what does that mean for the family of the deceased?
Plus or minus 14% on the life insurance payout. I mean, it's most of what I do, and I don't dislike my job, it's just... so much of what I do just boils down to telling a bunch of cheapskates how to split the dead man's bill.
This game is fucking crazy.
It's enough to make homicide feel like a breath of fresh air.
She finishing up over there?
Right, okay, so what's up?
Thanks for your time, Dr. Sato. My first question would be...
What was the cause of death?
Girl.
Oh, wow. Hi there. Cute android. I didn't even realize it was... really cute. The skin is... wow, that's remarkable. Even just looking close, you can tell. They really are warm. Still not quite human body temperature, but they've come a long way. The early gens all looked flushed, felt like they were always running a fever, and they ran like it too. Even 2 years ago, the average warm android only lasted...
Sorry, but the circumstances surrounding this particular case call for, expediency?
Right. So, what can I tell you?
Yeah, sure, we'll start with the cause of death. Were you able to determine the cause of death?
Well, cause of death, sure, we got that much figured out at least.
Why doesn't that sound particularly reassuring?
Dr. Asher died of respiratory failure. Not enough oxygen in the blood, not enough blood going to the brain. Root cause being a widespread depression of the central nervous system.
What would the symptoms be? What would it have looked like?
Lightheadedness, followed by dizziness. Then headaches, slurred speech, exhaustion. Loss of consciousness, and finally, respiratory arrest. Report shows that the EMTs tried intubation, then resuscitation through electrical stimulation, repeatedly. By the time he got to the emergency room, they were desperate enough to attempt direct artificial blood oxygenation, but it was too late.
And you're certain of all this?
Oh, well, most of it, sweetie.
Most of it?
Yeah, it's turned into quite the puzzle, and I'm used to having more pieces to start with. I was surprised a man as rich and famous as him didn't have any kind of biomes, but his files show...
he wasn't a viable candidate for modding.
Yeah, that's right. Without that kind of first-hand tech, we don't have nearly as much data as we'd like. But he was extensively monitored from the moment the EMTs arrived. We're very certain about our conclusion.
Did you find anything else unusual about his body in your examination? Cuts or bruises?
No injection sites, nothing in any cavities.
Nothing at all, huh? Alright, tell me about the talk screen then. The police mentioned a talk screen.
I hope she used her robot hand when she was poking around in his asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. They ran a talk screen when he first arrived. Typical diagnostic intake procedure. Based on the emergency call, they figured he must have overdosed on something, but the talk screen gave them nothing. After he died, we've run the broadest screenings possible, nothing.
So were you forced to conclude that this was a natural death?
I didn't give up that easy. I took blood samples and compared their makeup with what was on their record and his previous medical history. I managed to isolate a single, non-naturally occurring chemical compound that wasn't there before.
What was it? Some exotic toxin from a different hemisphere?
I wish. I ran it through every available database we have access to. And even a few I only sort of have access to through some friends. Not only does it not match any known poison, it doesn't match the chemical makeup of any registered compound.
Oh shit.
Do we know what it's made of at all? So, a designer drug, huh?
That seems to be the best explanation.
What the hell did you do, David?
You said it didn't match any registered compound. What about compounds that aren't registered?
Those friends of yours, private sector folks?
Yeah, and pharmaceuticals.
If one of them patented a new compound, a new drug, what would keep its formula from going on the record?
In the private sector, intellectual piracy is the norm, so you're expected to protect your research aggressively.
Patent first, find a use later?
Yeah, a patent would have to at least describe your compound in brief, but depending on what country you file in, I have heard it may be considered prudent to keep the actual chemical makeup off the record.
Smart. Using international IP law as your own personal minefield.
How so?
Whenever you're ahead, patent as much as you can, as fast as you can, but bury the formulae so no one knows where it's safe to walk. Anybody small and ambitious comes along, finds a new drug they're excited about, you flip up your card and let them know you came up with the idea years ago, and that you'll give them death by 1,000 court dates if they so much as blink. Wouldn't work on anyone your size or bigger. They could punch back. But for the rest of the field?
Wow, you corporate lawyers are scary.
I'm not a corporate lawyer.
So you came up with that strategy just now?
So it's possible that this poison is actually a known substance, something that the hospital could have easily identified.
If it wasn't considered a trade secret.
Yes, unfortunately that is a possibility.
drug is new, that doesn't mean it's original.
Does the effect that this compound had remind you of any other drug? Maybe one that's prescription only, or a controlled substance, one you might know by another name, but with a patented structure.
Sorry, sweetheart, it's a general depressant. There are a lot of drugs that have that effect on the body, and they come in all shapes and sizes from all kinds of places.
If the effect was unremarkable, what about its strength? Could you estimate how much of this stuff he had in his body all told?
Not precisely, no. Not with that detailed knowledge on its half-life. But I'd guess that it must have been...
Before I click for the answer, I would also like to add that drinking it, assuming that he had it with the alcohol, like mixing any drug with alcohol is incredibly dangerous. So like, there's also that possibility.
Right.
About 20 milligrams?
Is 20 milligrams a lot?
Not for a medicine. So this wasn't just an overdose of something relatively harmless, then?
No, not if 20 mil was enough to crash his entire nervous system.
Yeah, like, yeah. Well, thank you, Yumi.
Of course. So... You ready to view the body? We could skip it if you want. I know most people get squeamish around corpses.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. Hey, Twitch, are you getting my screenshot sound effect?
Okay then, let's get started.
I think you must be, actually, because you have my desktop audio.
Alright, I'll just step out for a moment to give you some privacy.
Okay, good. So Twitch does know every time I take a screenshot. I don't care. You don't want to know how many screenshots I have from Fate Stay Night. Yes, please. Thank you. Last time we talked was on a Sunday. You were complaining, I remember that. It's the principle of the matter. Right, you had ordered this cheap piece of shit sculpture or something by mistake. And it came damaged and you wanted to send it back for a refund. I gently reminded you how, with your salary, it was literally not worth your time. And I kindly offered to throw it out for you since you're having so much trouble letting go. You're only offering because you want to see how loud it sounds shattering at the bottom of my trash can. I denied it, even though you were right, and it was obvious. Should have let you have that one.
I thought that he would look different.
Huh?
But he looks exactly the same as I remember. His skin is pale, and he's very still. But his face is the same. His hair, his hands.
You were expecting something more drastic?
The last time I saw him, he was alive. He smiled and he told me he would see me soon. Now he's dead. Something is gone. And I can't find the difference. I'm trying to look harder, but I think I might just not be capable of it. And I wonder why. Why I was created to not be capable.
could be an issue of skill. Or maybe it's not something that can be seen no matter how hard you look. But it's there. I guarantee it. I've seen the transition enough times to be sure that between life and death, the distinction has significance. To the dead, at the very least.
You're going to smoke? Here? Now?
I'll pay the fine.
That's not the issue.
Alright, PB. Were you expecting me to fall
sorry.
to pieces? PB said, one could almost say that without love, it cannot be seen.
Oh my god.
Real boys grieve in all kinds of ways, Pinocchio.
Fucking Morgan over here.
Christ.
Oh my god.
I'm screenshotting this one specifically to send to Paddington.
And some don't grieve at all, it seems.
I'm a cold woman. Sorry to disappoint. The hell? Why the hell won't this thing light?
Adonai, you have your cigarette backwards.
Fucking, literally just a fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing also.
I remember seeing screenshots of this scene at one point, I think,
Yeah?
on Blue Sky, and like, yeah, dog, this woman does have a heart, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Normal.
Sometimes you can use I guess a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference to great effect.
Yeah.
Alright, that's back into cold storage for him, so...
I could see Morgan pulling the next thing you're going to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
is...
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
But she would get it wrong. Need anything else?
Can you send me the chemical makeup of that compound you isolated?
Sure, for what it's worth. Let me just... It's got... Oh, sorry.
It's all carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen with hexagonal structures. So it's organic? But there's a number of metallic elements too. And if you had to speculate on its intended use based on what we know of its structure?
Well, it certainly acted like a depressant. Binding to receptor pathways and affecting the balance of neurotransmitter reuptake.
Depressants are pretty rare in the designer drug scene.
True, people are always looking for a higher high or a crazier trip, but a more powerful depressant will just make you fall asleep. Not really much need to hit up the grey market for that kind of experience.
No, there's not. I see. Thanks again. You've been extremely helpful during a very difficult time.
Hey, anything you need, give me a ring.
That's very
Rockford's orders have got me on course, so I am already getting overtime for the whole weekend.
Glad to hear it.
Goodbye, Yumi.
And goodbye to you, Greenie.
My name is Sarah.
Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Cute.
Do 13
Oh, she's
p.m.
gonna
July
fuck that
1st,
robot.
2086.
Up on ramps and down off ramps, above skywalks and under tram lines. Buildings get progressively more polished as we head into the most economically developed part of the city. corporate territory. National headquarters for the likes of Howe Industries, Lakun, Tethys, Neath. Each of them sheltering their own micro-city of employee accommodations beneath their skyscraper shadows. Whale Fall. The entirety of the ocean floor coming together to feast and grow and live. Live off the fetid, rotting fat of the leviathans that swallow generations of people by the mouthful.
Weight is commonly listed, and my weight is... Do I really have to disclose that?
Noble lays claim to one of the largest shadows in the city, a towering nerve center for the whole nation's android industry. It's meant to be intimidating, I'm sure, but today I'm glad that Noble keeps such a sizable physical presence here. I need answers about David and his work on Sarah. Answers I'd never get browsing the company website or speaking to a representative.
Synopsis. Relationships. There are typically trivia sections as well. Should I start there?
Noble will have their guard up, of course, but even that will tell me something. Where they let me walk, who they let me talk to.
History.
Their efforts at performative transparency and clumsy obfuscation will...
How did you know my father?
What?
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt your brooding?
No, what did you ask?
My father. I know you were his friend. But what was your relationship like?
Can't you just scroll through our socials?
Father avoided social media. And your online presence is... not significant.
You saying I don't have enough followers?
Essentially.
What the fuck is on
Hilarious.
Morgan's Twitter account? I need to see what that looks like.
Oh my god, absolutely.
We went to the same college.
You studied programming.
No, I studied all kinds of different things as an undergrad, but not technology.
Is that a good way to prepare for law school?
I wasn't preparing for law school. Or anything else, really.
Hmm?
David, though, he had talent and he knew he wanted to do something with it. He studied programming, robotics, discrete math, cybernetics.
What classes did you share then?
Business ethics. I cannot
Lol.
speak.
Very funny overlap class there.
I was the second best student in the class and he
Was the first?
was the one who asked the most questions. Not sure about his actual ranking. He found the course challenging, and I clearly didn't, despite being younger. Guess he felt burned. He'd come up to me after class to argue, and sometimes ask for help.
Father always talked about socializing like it was a chore. It was kind of you to give him a chance.
What, like I was some kind of social butterfly? The belle of the ball?
You weren't?
One time at night, he knocked on my door all panicked, saying he was in bad shape for this tech course. There was a midterm or something the next day. I couldn't make heads or tails of the material, but I did my best to at least quiz him. He wasn't satisfied, though, wanted to cram the rest of the night.
Father had to cram for an undergraduate midterm?
Did I say something scandalous?
He's been called the founder of modern programming.
Yeah, socializing is a chore to a degree, Sarah. Yeah, well, even founder types can have poor time management when they're 21. He was already fried by that point. Wasn't hard to tell what he was really asking for. So I went and stole a study aid for him.
You stole a controlled substance just to help him with studying?
No, that'd be insane. No, I just pocketed some breath mints from the common room. Told him to pinch his nose and swallow fast because the taste is so strong.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, power move.
You gave him a placebo.
He already knew the content as good as he ever would. What he needed was to sleep. He could barely keep his eyes open by the time I got back from my daring heist. Didn't take much convincing for him to rest his eyes just until it kicked in.
And the test?
B+, I think.
I'm surprised that Father stayed close with you after that. You stole and lied to him.
I stole and lied for him. And David understood that. He was good at understanding things without me having to spell them out.
Oh yeah?
But I guess that's not the kind of thing that gets passed down through programming. Anyway, we kept in touch after that. First year of grad school, he published this paper.
The Turing Solution, a framework for programming adaptive linguistic heuristics.
One of his advisors came up with that title. David thought it was way too cocky, but...
But it still hasn't failed any known Turing test in the years since.
Don't act like you're the one who deserves credit for it. He called me one weekend asking for advice on how to handle all the attention. Job offers, interviews, apprenticeships, invitations to immigrate.
What did you tell him?
I don't remember telling him anything, actually. A lot of our conversations went like that. He would talk to me about whatever personal or professional problem was stuck in his head that day, and I would nod while he wore himself out. Check something really quick. Okay. And at the end of the conversation, he'd thank me, even though I hadn't offered a single word of advice. He took Noble's offer and they took over his education, paid him to work on his master's during the day and attend corporate training at night. And whatever else Noble may be, they were smart enough to start listening to him early.
You are referring to his one-point doctrine.
Quality over quantity.
Simple and elegant, just like his code.
Simple and elegant. But an anathema to a global corporation with supply chains designed for maximum capacity and just-in-time manufacturing. But obviously they got over their distaste fast enough. In the span of a few years, Noble's gone from making manual labor ads for meager profit to being the world leader in intelligence as a service. Even as he was making money hand over fist, he still kept in contact with a nobody like me. I moved to the city for my apprenticeship. He helped me put a down payment on my apartment. Then made up excuses as to why he couldn't help me move boxes. So is that enough detail for you? Thoroughly convinced that he and I were, in fact, friends?
I am. But Adonai, the favor that you owe him, what was it for?
That's private. Understand? I have zero interest in talking about it with you. That's fucking harsh, Morgan, but fair enough. Say you understand.
I understand, Adonai. We will be arriving shortly. Shall I send word ahead?
Just tell them that David the lawyer is here.
And on that note...
Yeah. Damn. Alright.
She, you know...
Normal.
Oh.
I guess next time we come back, it's probably going to be with Hetero Jessica.
Jesus Christ.
Hetero Jessica. Got another...
So, Asher, like, helped her dissolve her body in, like, a drum of acid or something, right?
Oh, for sure. Right? Like...
Yeah. Like, they absolutely, like, covered up a murder or something. Like, bro.
100. If like she owed him a favor, it had to be something like that, I think. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. That's it for us. PB and I will most likely... PB and I are going to try to be back next week. Jacqueline, I know that you're going to be gone.
Crying emoji.
Crying
emoji.
Jane, if you would like to join us once we figure out what we're going to do, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, let me know what's going on.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But we will find something to play next week so that we will be here. In the meantime, once again, I did not think to see who is streaming, and my Twitch is still signed into my personal account. So we will just end stream here, and I will come up with a list of accounts to look at later. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Have a good night.